us trained to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are.
But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna stand a flood, gonna draw me now. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me.
Another round of bullets hit my skin. Well, fly away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in.
We are bursting through the barricade and reaching for the sun.
We are warriors.
Yes, that's what we become.
That's what we become.
I won't let them bring me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious.
When the sharpest word wanna calm me down, I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown it now. I am brave, I am rude, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me.
This is me. And I know that I deserve your love. There's nothing you're not worth in your.
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna stand the flood, gonna draw me now. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come.
God, here I come.
And I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
Marching on, marching, marching on.
I make no apologies. This is me. The words wanna cut me down.
This is me.
I can safely say that this summer was definitely my favorite summer of all time. All the experiences, all the cultural and knowledge that I've gained definitely was very worthwhile. I can't be happier to be anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, they gave me a list of, and there was a lot of courses on this list, over 100 courses. All I had to do was just look for the courses that I needed for my major, and they had a list of those as well. And it was great because they would transfer back to my school as credit.
Top scholars from all around the world assemble here every summer, and I've developed relationships with them. We collaborate on work together. It's an opportunity for me to learn from scholars from all kinds of other fields.
KUISC is a great gateway to learn about different cultures, not only Korea, but also many other different cultures, as students from all over the world are brought together in the classroom.
Dorms feel very, very safe. There's a security guard right at the entrance. There's a very diverse set of people in the dorms. You meet like very different cultures from all around the world, and it's just really easy to make a bunch of new friends.
I did enjoy the process, and I was very happy to be cooking. It was easy to follow. Like, even if you don't know Korean, there is a translator for you to help you understand, and it is very tasty.
It's really good. In Australia, we don't really learn, well, where I'm from, we don't really learn much about any traditional instruments, not even like Australian traditional instruments. So it was really different, really, really nice.
There are many Korean students like me willing to join with you guys, and we're gonna help you. And just don't worry, be excited and join us.
여기 동영상 좀 이제 정지해 주시기 바랍니다. 그리고 단상 이동해 주실 조교 오셔가지고 단상 올려주시고 슬라이드 올려주세요. 그리고 여기 앞에 자리가 많거든요. 저 지금 프리칼리지 쪽 자리 쪽도 다 채워서 앉아주시면 좋겠습니다. Okay, attention, ladies and gentlemen. The opening ceremony for 2022 International Summer Campus will begin shortly. We ask you, please find a seat towards the front. Since there are many empty seats, please fill up the seats from the front to the back. And we block the seats for faculty, and I see faculties and pre-college students and IC students. Please find the student assistant to help you to your seat. And please take your seats as the opening ceremony will begin shortly. 스태프들은 여기 조금 앞에 자리가 많이 비어 있거든요. 여기 다 채워서 앉을 수 있게 좀 도와주세요. There are many empty seats at the front, so please find the seats from the front to the back. Thank you. 지금 앞에서 보면 자리 되게 많거든요. 네. 꽉꽉 채워서 앉을 수 있게 스태프들 도와주세요. 지금 놔둬볼게요. As there are many students still waiting for the line, so we'll start the ceremony in about 10 minutes. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Dongwon Park, the Associate Director of International Summer Campus in the Office of International Affairs. And before we started, I'd like to briefly look through today's schedule with you. 여기 우리 PT 화면 좀 틀어주세요. 괜찮습니다. 예. From 10:10, about 10:15, there will be an opening ceremony held for professors, ISC students, and pre-college students. Starting with the staff introduction, it will be concluded by the congratulatory speeches. From 10:20 to 11, the orientation part 1 will be comprised of the sessions on gender equality and introduction of KU International Healthcare Center, crime prevention, and anti-plagiarism and COVID-related guidelines. Orientation part 2 will be running separately from 11 from 12. The ISC academic faculty orientation will be held in the grand meeting room, which is on this floor of this building, and student orientation will be held here in this auditorium. 12 to 2 will be our lunch break. Please return your seats by no later than 2 p.m. Further information about the faculty luncheon will be given during the faculty orientation. And last but not least, orientation part 3 will be from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. We will have a welcome performance from the KU cheering squad, one of the most famous college squad over 50 years of experience. And faculty members are welcome to make your way to Udang Hall to see your offices and open a bank account if needed before or after the orientation part 3. Students will meet your buddies to go on a campus tour together. For faculty members, bus to return to the residence will depart at 4 p.m. near Paibil bus stop. That will be the progression of today's events, and we will now start the ceremony, so I kindly ask you check your mobile phones and have them on the silence mode. Thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening ceremony for Korea University International Summer Campus 2022. My name is Dongwon Park, and I will be the main host of today's orientation. And I would like to start today's ceremony by introducing everyone who has joined us today. To begin with, please welcome the Dean of KUISC, Professor Hee-Kyung Lee, and the Vice Dean of Professor Hong-Jong Kim. Thank you. And next, could I please ask the Senior Director, Ms. Young-Sung Kang, and IS team members to come up to the stage? Please do this into the center. Can you come up to the stage and say, just wave your hand, please. They will be spending next 6 weeks with you to provide with all kinds of assistance and support over the last few months leading up to today. 감사합니다. We have been working around the clock, processing over 1,600 applications and preparing for your seamless transition to Korea University. We'll continue to work with you and help you with any issues or concerns that you may have. Please give them a big round of applause. Thank you. And now, could I ask all of the ISC professors to please stand up and wave your hands? Let's welcome them a big round of applause. This year, I am proud to say that we have over 30 exceptional international faculty members as well as 10 outstanding Korea University professors teaching at KUISC 2022. And next are our KU pre-college students. Could you please wave your hands? Pre-college students? Yeah. We hope that the ISC gives you an idea of what college life will be like and prepares you for your freshman year. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. And last but not least, we have about 600 and 700 ISC students here with us, as well as 400 students joining us online through Zoom and YouTube today. Please give each other a big round of applause. Thank you. I also like to acknowledge our KU student assistants on black t-shirts, and they are working with us to provide any help you may need with anything throughout the program. And we have fantastic KU buddies on white t-shirts who will be organizing various activities for ISC students. They will also help you with your adjustment to Korea University and Korea as a whole. I hope you all will have an opportunity to make lasting and memorable friendship with your buddies. And now, I would like to invite Professor Hee-Kyung Lee, the Dean of KUISC, to the stage for welcoming remarks. Professor Lee, please.
Greetings to our ISC Vice Dean, our ISC Steering Committee members, our distinguished ISC faculty, ISC staff, ladies and gentlemen, But most of all, greetings to our ISC students. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. A very warm welcome to the Korea University International Summer Campus 2022. I hope that the rain is not dampening your spirits today. The rainy season is actually a part of Korea, so experiencing it is experiencing a real Korean summer. We are very excited to have you with us. This is our first time conducting both in-person and online courses, so we welcome those of you who are actually here in our beautiful and historic campus, and we also warmly welcome those joining virtually. Although life is not completely back to normal, we are glad that we are on our way to resuming connecting with one another. The best aspect about the ISC is that we bring people from all over the world together to the unique context of Korea and its culture. At the ISC, you will get to be immersed in Korea, whether in person or online, while taking courses across many fields taught by our world-renowned faculty. We are also glad to tell you that as of last year, we also have graduate-level courses. Our graduate program is the first and currently the only international graduate summer program in Korea. This year, we have an exciting new initiative. We are offering the only digital badge program in an international summer program in Korea. The digital badge program is in Korean culture and society, and you can receive a digital badge if you complete at least 3 courses from the Korean culture and society program. So we invite you to take part in this new program or to come back to a future ISC or international winter campus to complete the program and receive a certificate and a digital badge. We want to let you know that you are our utmost priority and that we care deeply about your learning and well-being here. So please do not hesitate to contact our ISC staff for any concerns you may have, no matter how small. We are also open to any suggestions or feedback you may have. Please remember that the ISC is our program. This means 우리 in Korean, our including our faculty, our caring staff, and of course you. You are the ones who make this program. Please know that we will be here with you every step of the way and make sure that you find your courses intellectually stimulating and you have a meaningful time with your professors and fellow students, and most of all, you are happy. So thank you for choosing Korea University's ISC, the top summer, or we think it's the top summer program in Korea. Summer is supposed to be the most fun time of the year, so we are thrilled that you chose to be with us and hope you have many memorable experiences during the program. Please stay safe, healthy, and happy. Lastly, in English, you saw our cheering culture through the video. When we cheer on somebody in English, we usually say go, go, go at a sports game. In Korea, we have a similar expression, and that is termed 가자. So can you repeat after me? 가자? 가자. Okay, so let's pronounce it in the long way. These days, it's pronounced in a very, very long way. So it's 가자, 가자. So I will kindly ask you to please repeat after me. We are going to say ISC 가자. Okay, so let's say this together. ISC 가자. So 1, 2, 3. ISC 가자. Okay, thank you very much and have a wonderful time.
Thank you, Professor Lee. Now, as the representative of ISC faculty members, I would like to invite Professor Eric Youngstrom to come up to the stage to give a welcome speech. Professor Youngstrom is currently teaching at University of North Carolina, and this is his 13th year with the ISC program. Please welcome Professor Youngstrom with a round of applause.
welcome. For how many of you is this your first time in Korea? Raise your hand. You are in for such a treat. Such a treat. So, as you heard, this is my 13th time coming to Korea. My wife also teaches here, and our 2 daughters have grown up here. I'm going to tell you a secret. Korea changes you. It makes you better. You will learn so much, have so many memories. This is going to be one of the best summers of your whole life. I feel confident predicting that because it happens to me every year. This summer, I've talked with many of the faculty, and I know we are all feeling the same thing. If this is not our first time being here, we are grateful to be back. And we are a bit nervous. Will our favorite places, where our favorite friends, will Korea have Korea always changes. Korea is always changing, so there's no duh, Korea will be different. But will it still be special? And as soon as we arrived, we walked around, saw as much of campus, as much of Insadong, and we're like, well, yeah! Korea is still here! Korea is still here! So I want to share a concept I've been thinking about a lot. Have you heard of the idea of anti-fragility? Fragile things break when something hits them. And for many of you, half of your university experience has been during COVID. That is, my daughters are your age. That is a terrible way to experience college. If you are here, I am so glad for you. So fragile things break when something hits them. COVID was a big hammer. Resilient things, when they get hit with a hammer, they don't break. But anti-fragile things, when they get hit, they reorganize, they get stronger. That is what happens to our immune system with vaccines. That is why vaccines work. That is what happens to our muscles when we exercise. That is why exercise works. And that is what happens in Korea. When I think of countries around the world, I cannot think of one which is more anti-fragile than Korea. If you are taking a class on the history, a class on the culture, you will learn what this country has been through and overcome and risen above. This summer is an opportunity to be a part of that anti-fragility. I'm getting chills. The hair on my arms, I have no hair on my head to stand up, but the hair on my arms, I'm like, woo! We are going to be part of a magical summer, and I am so grateful to be here, to be a part of the ISC. The innovations that we just heard from Dean Lee are an example of, we're not just trying to do it the same way, we're trying to figure out how do we make it better. So I'm so glad you are here to a wonderful summer. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Professor Youngstrom. Thank you very much. Now we take a short time to move the podium to the left. 잠깐 단상 옮기고 슬라이드 내리도록 하겠습니다. Thank you. 조심하세요. 그 슬라이드 내릴 거고 저 PPT 틀어주세요. 그리고 앞에 노트북 스크린 켤 수 있도록 해주시면 좋겠습니다. 오케이. Yeah, this is the contents of today's orientation part 1. And now, Next, I would like to move on to the orientation of gender equality. Please welcome Ms. Jungmin No on the floor. She is the director of Center for Gender Equality and will talk about its role and efforts for the prevention of sexual harassment and abuse on campus. Let's welcome Ms. No, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, 안녕하세요. Hi, nice to meet you. Welcome to Korea University. This is my pleasure to be here today, and nice to meet you. My name is Jungmin No. I'm a psychologist and working as a counselor at the Center for Human Rights and Gender Equity, HRGE we call. Today, I'm here to introduce you our center, and I want you to know about our school regulation governing gender equity at Korea University. The president of any university in Korea has a legal obligation to prevent sexual and gender-based harassment, also discriminations on campus. All universities are obligated by law to carry out an annual prevention education on sexual and gender-based harassment, also discriminations on campus. This orientation aims to inform you how to deal with sexual and gender-based harassment, also discriminations on campus, and whom to contact. Here is today's order of orientation. First of all, I will tell you about Code of Conduct Gender Policy according to our school regulation. And then I will show you a short video clip about the definition of sexual harassment and sexual violation to understand what it means. After that, I will inform you about the Center for Human Rights and Gender Equity, where you can get appropriate support if you need. Korea University has Code of Conduct Gender Policy. The code principle is Korea University does not discriminate against the student, faculty, or staff based on sex in any of its programs or activities, including but not limited to educational programs, employment, and admission. Korea University also complies with the regulations that protect individuals from discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, as well as on the basis of gender identity. All students, faculty, and staff at Korea University should ensure that women and men have equal rights and development opportunities at the university. Here are our Code of Conduct Gender Policy. Policy number 1, the interests of both genders must be optimally served at all levels and in all functions. This includes equal representation as well as due consideration of any specific gender interest in all working contexts. Policy number 2, nobody may suffer negative consequences due to their sex, gender identity, or gender transition. Policy number 3, each individual's dignity and integrity must be respected. Sexual and gender-based harassment and discrimination are violation of human dignity. Policy number 4, at the university, written and spoken language should express equal treatment of women and men while maintaining precision and elegance. Why do we need such gender policy? Because Korea University wants to prevent sexual harassment and sexual violation, also discriminations on campus. Korea University has a set of regulations to ensure protection against sexual harassment and sexual violence. Here is the definitions.
Harassment refers to any action that takes place in a work, employment, or academic setting, in which a person takes advantage of his or her status to use sexual words or actions that make the addressee feel disgusted or sexual humiliation. Punishing or causing disadvantages when the addressee refuses to follow such sexual actions or requests also falls under sexual harassment. Therefore, sexual harassment is not simply sexual mocking, but a sexual tormenting or insult that reflects the relevant people's relation of power. according to the enforcement decree of Act on Equal Employment and Support for Work-Family Reconciliation. Sexual harassment can be categorized into physical sexual harassment, such as suddenly hugging someone from behind or touching certain body parts. Verbal sexual harassment, such as lewd jokes or sexual metaphors concerning one's appearance, or pressuring someone to pour a drink during office dinners. Visual sexual harassment, such as displaying pornographic photographs or pictures, or purposefully exposing or touching certain body parts, and other sexual words and actions, which according to social norms, cause disgust or sexual humiliation. Sexual violence is any action in which one takes advantage of the difference in strength to infringe upon another's sexual self-determination against the other's will. The concept encompasses not only rape, but also molestation and sexual harassment. From the viewpoint of sexual violence, not only physical violence or threats that demand sexual relations, but also sexual advances or attempts, psychological abuse, and verbal insults also apply as sexual violence. The law regulates only genital-oriented crimes accompanied by violence or threats, such as rape or indecent assault, as sexual violence crimes. But such sexual violence crimes, according to the law and sexual violence, must be carefully distinguished. Sexual violence must be understood to widely include both psychological and physical violence, because the kind of sexual violence that most frequently takes place within the university is not sexual violence crimes, but sexual harassment.
Okay, these regulations are based on the fundamental assumption that all students, faculty, and staff should treat each other with respect. Illegal shooting and hate speech on social media are not acceptable in our university community. This does not mean that interpersonal relations should be purely impersonal, distant, and formal. On the contrary, friendly and relaxed personal interaction also between women and men is and should be a normal part of everyday life at the university. Nevertheless, the regulations stipulate definitely the sexual harassment and discrimination are prohibited and will not be tolerated. What shall we do if we feel sexually humiliated or offended with sexual charged behaviors? Maybe someone might think, should I just ignore it? Or am I too much sensitive or overreacting? Even what should I do if I get some disadvantages or whatever? But I recommend we should do first as follow. Clearly state how I feel and demand to stop the action. I know it's not easy to tell them off right away. Not only you, many of students, they cannot do it. But don't worry, in such case, we better discuss about it with the Center for Human Rights and Gender Equity. Sexual assault can happen to anyone. Anyone initiating any kind of sexual contact with another person must seek consent and not engage in sexual contact unless consent is given. According to our school regulation, consent means informed, freely given agreement, communicated by clearly understandable words or actions to participate in each form of sexual activity. Consent cannot be inferred from silence, passivity, or lack of active resistance. Importantly, intoxication is not an excuse for failure to obtain consent. And a person who is not able to, whether by alcohol, drugs, or otherwise, is incapable of giving consent. Please remember, sex without consent is not sex, it's rape. Please ask your partner for permission. At the university, sexual assault policy makes clear sexual misconduct of any kind is inconsistent with the university's values and incompatible with the safe, healthy environment that the Korea University community expects. All members of the community share responsibility for creating and maintain an environment which promote the safety and dignity of each individual. On college campuses, perpetrators are more likely to assert an acquaintance than a stranger. Being aware of your own safety and watching out for your friends are important steps you can take to reduce the risk of sexual assault. When we hear so bad thing happen to someone like really rape, then people easily say the victim might have done something wrong and blame the victim. People think the victim might have provided the cause of the incident. But I want to make sure now the perpetrator, not the survivor, is responsible for any instance of sexual assault. Nothing a survivor does or does not do is an excuse for sexual assault. Blaming the victim, that's the secondary victimization, afflicts the victim. We better report the victim, never blame. For more information on consent and incapacitation, also information about sexual assault prevention and resources for survivors of sexual assault are available from the Center for Human Rights and Gender Equity. If a friend or person around you was the victim of sexual harassment, what would you do? Please do support the victim psychologically and do not try to solve the problem yourself by excessive actions. Those kind of interruption could make the situation more worse. You better report it to or seek counsel from an on-campus professional counseling center. Korea University has an on-campus professional counseling center. We call it as a Center for Human Rights and Gender Equity, HRGE. We seek to maintain an atmosphere free of sexual and gender-based harassment and discrimination while providing active support to students, faculty, and staff. The center is also committed to creating an atmosphere of trust and respect that is essential to a healthy work and academic environment. And now I want to call special attention. You will want to have various experiences in Korea. You will also want to try some special alcohol such as soju or makgeolli. Remember, unfamiliar alcohol can make you drunk and you put in a dangerous situation. You may have heard of Gangnam or Hongdae clubs are very attractive. Okay, please enjoy yourself, but remember to be safe. Not much alcohol and always with trusted friends, not alone. Here I show you what we normally do, and the HRGE is committed to responding promptly and actively when it learns of any form of possible discrimination based on sex or sexual orientation as well as gender identity. The HRGE responds to reports of sexual harassment, including sexual violence, as part of its effort to stop the harassment and prevent its recurrence of possible sex discrimination. An individual who has questions or concerns regarding possible discrimination based on sex should contact the HRGE. All members of Korea University can visit the HRGE to request information or advice, including whether certain conduct may violate the policy, seek informal resolution, or file a formal complaint. If you are a foreigner, sometimes you may not be sure whether you have been sexually harassed or there has been just a simple misunderstanding due to cultural differences or whatever. In such cases as well, counseling and supports are always available at the Center for Human Rights and Gender Equity. You can visit us through the website, but for now it's only in Korean. We are now working, translated in English, but I don't think during this summer we can done, the whole job to finish. But anyway, the other contact possibilities I will tell you. Anyway, you can contact us when you simply need information or if you need counseling or when you want to report a case. Anytime we are ready to meet or talk with you. The location of our center is just, very close to this building. Dongwon Global Leadership Hall is our office. We are on the first floor of the building. Here you see our contact point, the phone number, and email address, and the website URL, and the location is again on the slide. The email address, the ID is very easy to keep. The ID is just helper@korea.ac.kr. So just to remember, if you want to ask something or contact with us, this email is very useful, I think. Well, thank you for your attention. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Ms. No. And next, I'd like to call upon Ms. Bugyong Choi from the KU International Healthcare Center. Ms. Choi will provide you with the information on our international healthcare services and clinics. Let's welcome Ms. Choi.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bugyong Choi, and I'm a staff of the International Healthcare Center at Korea University Annam Hospital. Today, I would like to introduce our International Healthcare Center in Annam Hospital. International Healthcare Center is a comprehensive medical and healthcare center rendering integrated services. This is the list of services that we provide to international patients. First of all, we offer medical consultations and refer services to specialists. Also, we offer vaccinations and COVID-19 PCR tests. You could also get medical certificates after consultation. We are open from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and consultation is available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Here's the outpatient clinic process. First of all, you make an appointment with us, and on the day of consultation, you'll make payment first and then have a consultation with a doctor. Next, you should pay for the prescribed treatments at billing window number 9, and then you get appropriate tests, medications, and so on. And finally, have a follow-up medical consultation. This is the list of medical departments in our hospital, and they are a total of 42. This is the list of insurance companies that we have direct billing contracts with, so you could refer to it. And here's the mail address and phone number of the International Healthcare Center. As you can see, we have English, Mongolian, Russian, and Arabic translators in our center, so you could have feel free to contact us if you have any questions. As you know, Korea University Annam Hospital is located right next to the Korea University. It's near Annam subway station, exit number 1. And International Healthcare Center is on the second floor of new building. This is the entrance to the International Healthcare Center. And as it is close to the main entrance and it is right next to the information desk, you could find it easily. This is the inside of the International Healthcare Center, and we have consultation and waiting area. This is all for today, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Choi. And next, Surgeon Joo Hee Park of Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency will give a talk on crime prevention. Surgeon Park, please. And we have
Good morning, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to Korea. Welcome to Korea University. I am Senior Police Officer Joo Hee Park from Seongbuk Police Station. I am here for your safe stay in Korea. Emergency call number for police is 112. Please remember that. And number for fire station and rescue is 119. And for other general civil services, call 110 or 182. When reporting crime, call 112 and tell the police officer your location first, please. There are other ways to find where you are, but still it is more helpful if you tell the officer where you are at specifically. You could also use 112 emergency call application. You can make calls or send text message to the police, turn on the GPS function on your phone, and if you download this application on your phone, first you will have to fill in some personal information such as your cell number, your photo, etc. And then you need to you have to turn the GPS function on, and if you press 112 by mistake on this application while using it, please do not just hang up on the phone. Please explain the situation to the police officer because they might think it's an emergency. Let me skip on this. Phishing criminal might deceive you by impersonating an embassy employee, prosecutor, police officer, or banker, or something else, or manipulating caller's number to someone you know. Korean authorities never ask you any personal information such as bank account or password on the phone. So please hang up on suspicious calls. Be careful when clicking on links or installing applications because malicious applications might be installed on your phone to control it. And don't be tempted into high-paying part-time jobs. Receiving money for providing your personal information or withdrawing money for someone else might be related to some kind of a crime. You might not receive the goods you bought even after sending money to the seller online. Think again if the goods you are going to buy is too cheap compared to others. I suggest you to make transactions on verified websites only and meet the seller face-to-face if possible. Exchanging currencies between individuals is forbidden. The money you receive might be money earned from crime, waiting for money laundering using your account. All bank accounts of a person involved in financial frauds will be suspended. Gambling is strictly forbidden in Korea, and all narcotics are banned in Korea. Any misconduct related to drugs is prohibited, including exporting, importing, buying, selling, cultivating, or just even possessing, and providing sites for taking drugs. A foreigner will be punished and deported for such actions. In principle, foreign students are not allowed to take part in profit-making activities. However, under some conditions, with the permission of the immigration office in advance, working part-time may be allowed. And there are categories of business that students are not allowed to work part-time, even with the permission. Please check with the school faculty for details. Here's our last major point. Name lending is forbidden in Korea. If you lend your bank account or ID cards to other people, that action itself is already illegal. And there is a high possibility that they will be misused in crimes such as voice phishing. So do not lend your bank account, ID cards, or any kind of personal information, even if someone suggests you to give a lot of money for it. And here, this is a guidance of how you can use the Poll Talk, which is a messenger channel so that you can get in touch with police officers a little easier. So officers of Foreign Affairs section are managing this channel. And so if you are in need of help from the police, you can contact us through here. So take a picture if you need it. And this is it for today. Have a safe stay in Korea. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant Park. Okay, next, now Professor Peter Sylvester from the Institute of Foreign Language Studies, AKU, is here to give a very important session on avoiding plagiarism. It is not often, but occasionally there are students who commit plagiarism in their program, so please pay attention to this session, and I hope none of you would get into this academic dishonesty issue during your time at KUIC. Professor Sylvester, please.
Let's see how this works. Very quickly to move the screen forward. Okay, there it is, these two. Okay, excellent. Well, again, welcome to Korea University. It seems like this is the downside of our morning's activities, talking about crime. And speaking of crime, that's part of my part. I will now talk about a crime that has no statute of limitations, and that is plagiarism. I earned my master's degrees in the mid-1980s. If it's found out that I did any plagiarism on those master's degrees or even my undergraduate, my degrees can be revoked right now. And if so, I'll be taken off the stage, I'll be taken away from KU, and because I won't have a job, I'm off at Incheon Airport, and it's goodbye. So again, this is extremely critical. All right. Oh, yesterday, the grades had to be submitted to, for Korea University to end the regular semester. Yesterday, I failed 3 students for plagiarism, right? And it's very unfortunate. So what is it? And how do you avoid it? Because a lot of times plagiarism is unintentional. We want to ensure that you want to ensure that you know what the rules are. It is considered academic dishonesty, but also, even more so, an academic crime. Basically, whoops, I guess I'd have to shout if I step away. I guess I'll just stand here. Might be a little easier on both of us. What plagiarism basically is claiming for yourself what others have done. That's basically it. You're stealing the intellectual property of someone else, and you're passing it as your own. And honestly, there's no reason to do so. As we can see here, it is a moral offense, but it also can be a legal offense as well. And in academia, it can and will end careers, even decades later, as we will see in a minute. We'll see right now. Here we had 2 cases, one from a former Korea University president. If I understand it correctly, KU president served for 4 years. This one, Kim Il-sung, served for only 7 months. What happened? Well, in the late 1970s and 80s, he and his graduate students would produce research. Professors would publish the research as a book. The graduate students, the PhD students, would then take this work and publish it as a PhD. So in this case, we had a professor, 2 graduate students, and they had the same work, but 3 people claimed it. Well, whose was it? Okay, and so he resigned, right? And yet the crime he committed was like 10, 20 years earlier. Columbia University, far, far worse. Charles Armstrong, and I know this vicariously because this guy, Charles Armstrong, plagiarized from a friend of mine, and this friend was a former, instructor at Korea University. Now, Charles Armstrong was the top in his field. He earned the Charles F. Fairbanks Prize in Asian Studies. He wrote a book that received that prize called Tyranny of the Weak. The problem is he blatantly stole from my friend. And he thought that, oh, no one would know. Right? Who's going to go through all of the detailed research that my friend Balazs Shalantai did? So this guy, right, Armstrong, not only did he steal that material, but he tried to cover it up. Unfortunately for him, in the academic world, that's extremely dangerous to do. Because Balazs Shalantai had an army of young, eager, dedicated research friends who proved that Armstrong 90 times deceived and distorted and tried to cover up his plagiarism. Well, guess what? Dr. Charles Armstrong is now gone. He used to be editor of the finest academic journal in Korean studies in America. For some reason, he suddenly resigned. And now he's out. Okay. Now, detection. This is something I did. I had a friend of mine who came up with this, who showed me this quote. Okay? All facts prove that the seniority party is a group of traitors, blah, 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 who stoop to any infamy. Well, guess what? That did not come from Park and Hay. Looking at it, I could tell, and this is how I detect plagiarism. I told my friend, that's not the words of Park and Hay. It can't be. I said, that sounds like North Korea, Korea's central, Korea's central news agency. And I said, I'll bet it's there. And despite Korea's censorship of the KCNA, I was able to find it on a Canadian website. And sure enough, it's from North Korea. I know because I've read the KCNA. I know what they sound like. When I read my student papers, the same thing. Okay? So, now detection of plagiarism. It's not that hard. I tell my students, if your paper sounds like it was written by Shakespeare, it probably was. If it sounds like your paper was written by a Harvard professor, it probably was. All right? Now, so before we had Turnitin, before we had all this artificial intelligence software, I used my understanding of register, language level. You could also consider it as voice. Each writer has a different voice. So when you copy and paste from different sources, your paper sounds, it was either written by a committee, it sounds like your paper was written by a committee, or you're schizophrenic. Either way, it's going to raise questions. Right? Now, for you who are growing up in the digital age, great. You have smartphones, cell phones. You have all these wonderful digital devices. That's the upside. Downside is almost all of your work is going to be digitalized at some point. And anyone maybe a business competitor or a competitor at work can take your work decades from now, put it through an anti-plagiarism checker, and who knows what they will be like in the next 10 years or so. They will find it, okay, if you've plagiarized. So you in the digital age have to be particularly careful. Now, by the way, there's a reason why Donald Trump does not want anyone to see his paper. I wonder why. But I won't go any further than that. Mine, if you want to see mine, go to the Cambridge University Library. You'll see it there. Right? But it'll be like 30 years old, 35 years old. Okay. So finally, I wouldn't say finally, you want to be citing from experts. You want to show that you've done your research. As students, you're not expected to have all the knowledge. You're expected to draw upon, if it's law, draw upon legal experts. If it's science, draw upon science experts. but say so. That's why I say there's no reason for plagiarism. And a lot of times students commit plagiarism because they don't know the rules, they don't know how to properly attribute their sources. Okay, all right. And so we have, like I will now use both myself and I will use Turnitin, as I mentioned, to detect plagiarism. Most of the time I can detect it without artificial software. So can your professors. Right? They're pretty smart people. And they've been reading in your field for decades. So they will know the literature. And that's why, and again, I want to stress that there's no reason for plagiarism. Show that you've done your research. Show that you've done your reading. Okay? And basically, here's what you do. If you copy verbatim, like you want to copy a legal text, just put quotation marks around it or separate it. Then say, before or after, who said it. And usually, when did they say it? That's a citation. Author, date. Okay. If it's by the way, if it's paraphrased, it's always cited, always referenced. If any of our professors here wish to disagree with that, they may feel free to do so. I would argue, if you plagiarized it, no, wrong. If you paraphrased it, okay, if you paraphrased it, you're clearly paraphrasing somebody else. It's clearly not yours. So by definition, if it's paraphrased, it must be cited and it must be referenced. Wherever you got it from. If you got it from your mother, guess what? You're citing your mother. Right? Okay. Now, take your time to look at websites that talk about plagiarism and how to avoid it. I've only had 10 minutes. Don't have any idea how much time I used up, but I probably used up most of my 10 minutes. So I will leave you with this final advice. Well, two pieces of advice. One, know the rules. Look at how to detect plagiarism, what are your solutions to plagiarism. Okay? It's not that hard to do, just learn the rules. And the number one reason why students plagiarize, they leave too little time to do it right. If you allocate the time to do it right, you will do it right. Okay? And as I said right here, it'll save you a lot of time if you don't plagiarize. If you plagiarize and you get found out, you get evicted, evicted from the university. I think it's called expulsion. Now you have to reapply to another school, etc. Overcoming charges of plagiarism is a lot more time-consuming than simply avoiding plagiarism altogether. And we are done about that. Plagiarism and COVID-19 are about the same. Okay, they're both plagues. All right, good. So I'll leave you with that.
Thank you, Professor Sylvester. Now next, Ms. Hyuna Park from the International Education Team will give guidelines about the situation related to COVID-19. In Korea, the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 has been decreasing dramatically. However, the pandemic is not over yet, so Ms. Park will give you some guidelines and explain about the necessary procedures in case of any positive COVID-19 cases occurring during the program. Ms. Park, please.
Good morning, professors and students. I'm Hyuna Park, the program manager of KUISC. From now, I'll briefly inform you about COVID-19. First, we will talk about the COVID regulations in Korea. I heard that many of your countries are allowed to take off masks outdoors and also indoors. But in Korea, you can take off your mask outdoors, but you need to wear a mask indoors at all times. If you test positive in COVID, you must stay at an independent space for 7 days and going out is prohibited in principle. Please be aware that quarantine and medical expenses are interactive. And finally, always take care of your health. Now, let's move on to the COVID information for students. If a student tests positive during class, students need to notify the ISC team and also inform the faculty through email or class assistant 1 hour before class starts. Faculty, you don't have to worry about whether you would miss your class or not. Our KU ISC faculty will provide students with supporting materials for your study, such as voice recordings or video recordings. And importantly, if student is staying in the dormitory, he or she needs to move a 7-day quarantine facility. These are the sites for you to refer to when you are tested positive for COVID. The site information is stated on our website and guidebook, so please use the website you are comfortable with. Next, this COVID information is for KU ISC faculty members. If a faculty tests positive during class, the faculty needs to notify the ISC team and the student through Blackboard on the change of class to online. In such cases, if the faculty is unable to conduct online classes due to COVID, class must be reinforced with supplementary materials or assignments. Please remember that if a student tests positive during class, faculty needs to provide students with the supporting materials for their study, such as voice recordings and video recordings. This slide on the Rapid Agent Testing Center and PCR Testing Center is near Korea University. This information is also written in your guidebook and also on our website, so please read over the guidebook carefully. If you have any health problems, you can also visit the Crimson Clinic or Korea University Annam Hospital to check your condition. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Park. And now, and for the final lead, we will watch a KU promotional video that takes about 6 minutes, giving you a general information about Korea University. 그 KU 홍보 영화 틀어주시면 좋겠습니다. 뒤쪽에서 틀어주세요.
People above technology. People above thinking. All innovation starts with people. The future starts with Korea University, the university that draws the world's attention. Korea University, the university that creates new values. Beyond innovation, returning to people. Human KU, beyond innovation. Korea University. Korea University has grown into an institution which represents Korea, creating new values at every turning point in the nation's history. In this rapidly changing world, Korea University is, yet again, embarking on an innovation to nurture creative talent who will positively transform the world. Korea University, as a trustworthy companion, is making numerous contributions to society and humanity. In teaching, research, and administration, Korea University is committed to innovation in all areas of university life. A space in which anything is possible. Ideas that are interweaved with the future. A campus that encourages any and all dreams. As one of the world's top 100 universities, Korea University will continue to strive to encourage future talents with new values to flourish, with the world as their stage.
위기 때마다 시대적 소명을 다해온 사람 중심의 고려대학교는 자유, 정의, 진리의 정신 아래 두려움 없이 도전하는 창의적 융합 인재를 양성하고 인류와 사회에 공헌하는 새로운 가치를 만들어 가겠습니다. 그것이 우리의 사명입니다.
Innovating classes to innovate thinking. Various convergence courses across majors. Classes that exceed the limit of current knowledge and conventional thinking. The Liberty, Justice, Truth course, in which opinions and perspectives are creatively expressed. Strengthening holistic education through various extracurricular activities. These multidimensional educational innovations create new values and foster talented individuals who are essential to society. A campus on which any idea can become a reality anywhere. A creative, experimental space which transcends disciplinary boundaries.
엑스게러지와 메이커 스페이스는 아이디어만 있으면 누구나 마음껏 창작하고 실험할 수 있는 도전의 공간입니다.
KU Pioneer Village, with its unique appearance, is also a space for allowing students' infinite imagination free rein. In addition, KU's libraries are venues for open discussions, and spaces equipped with multimedia systems open up doors to creative content production. Korea University's Smart Campus, which enables students to reach their potential, is in fact a human care campus. It provides customized services based on data to meet the needs and address the concerns of students. Sejong Campus, as a leader in the biomedical industry, is helping to establish a BT industry cluster. Korea University has already taken a remarkable leap. Universities should lead the path to solve complex social problems. To this end, Korea University is actively promoting interdisciplinary convergence research and strengthening its research capacities by expanding collaboration with universities, research institutes, industry, and hospitals. The KU Medical Center is not just a medical institution that treats diseases, but a leader in the global biomedical field and one of the world's top medical institutions. Korea University, moving beyond the boundaries of the nation with the world as its stage, is a leading force in globalization and is connecting the world's intellectuals as one. People from around the world gather here to experience the lectures of the world's most prominent scholars, and our students are gaining various experiences at prestigious universities and outstanding educational institutions around the world.
고려대학교는 제가 더 넓은 세계를 경험할 수 있도록 든든한 기반이 되어 주었습니다.
여기에 와보니 고려대의 국제 역량 강화 프로그램이 얼마나 우수한지 알 수 있었습니다.
Korea University's bright and able students in all corners of the world are growing into regional experts on the global stage. A place where social values are upheld and community life is shared through various mentoring programs and community service. Humanism, learned through sharing, is the thread of hope connecting Korea University to the world. KU scholarship programs provide unwavering support for any student who wants to pursue their dreams. And the From the Heart 1,000 Won Morning Campaign, which provides breakfast to KU students for 1,000 won, is a source of strong support to students. The stream of donations to the university, which demonstrates love and respect for KU, is a driving force for the fulfillment of KU's plans for the next century. A place where innovation starts from me and becomes innovation for the world. A place where unconventional thinking becomes technology that breaks down the barriers of the world. This is the center of the world right here within Korea. Korea University.
Okay, did you enjoy the video? Thank you very much for attending the opening ceremony and part 1 of the orientation of KUIC 2022. Next, there will be a separate orientation sessions held for ISC faculty members and ISC students. And after lunch, we will gather here again at 2 for the part 3 of the orientation. ISC students, please stay seated as your session will be continued here. And now, can I ask the ISC faculty members to make your way to the grand conference room, please? Our staff members will guide you to the grand conference room, 대회의실. Okay, thank you for everyone for cooperation and enjoy your orientation and lunch. And I will see you at 2 here for part 3 of the orientation. 예, 여기 무대 불 좀 켜주시고요. 다시 슬라이드 켜주시면 되겠습니다.
We will start our student orientation on 11:20. So please wait a moment, please.
내용이 아무도 흥미가 없었는 내용이잖아. 차라리 이것도 애들 하다 보면 좀 잘. 집을 가고 싶어요.
From now, we will start our student orientation. So please sit down. Welcome to the 2022 student orientation. I am very delighted and pleased to see you all here today. I know many of you arrived in Korea less than a couple of days ago, so I hope you managed to overcome your jet lag for the past few days or so and feel more freshened up today. And this is what I will be covering in today's orientation. I will provide an overview of Korea University from cultural activities, so let's get started. First, I'll briefly inform you about Seoul. Seoul is capital city of Korea, where Korea University is located. Seoul embraces both tradition and modernity. Transportation in Seoul is very convenient, and also many bus stops and subway stations are nearby Korea University, such as Anam Station and Korea University Station, so you can easily approach to every tourist attraction in Seoul. To talk about this year's KUISC, I would like to express my gratitude to students who attended today on behalf of ISC staffs. KUISC is leading as the #1 global summer program in Korea. More than 1,300 students from about 62 countries and 300 institutions joined us this year. From now on, I'll briefly inform you of the Korea University. These are the maps that students will visit often. We give you the detailed campus map with your welcome kit, so if you want to visit the places instead of these places, please refer to the campus map we provided to you. Here is Udang Hall, where students mainly study at. And here is SK Future Hall. Some students will be studying here, so please check your guidebook carefully. Please remember, if you are a student staying in dormitory, your shuttle bus will stop near the Pi Bill and behind the Udang Hall. We will operate the shuttle bus from Monday to Thursday, except this week. This week, the shuttle bus will operate from Wednesday through Friday. For more detailed information on shuttle bus operating time, please check your guidebook. You can access the Korea University Library with your student ID card, which was already given to you with your welcome kit. Please check the operating time of library on your guidebook. Now let's move on to the next slide. This information is for students who registered dormitory in KUISC. We are prepared dormitory Q&A session by the most frequently asked question. For curfew, there is no curfew in Korea University dormitory. In order to avoid getting locked out of your room or building, please make sure to carry your room key or key card with you all times. And if you left your key in your room or lost it, please kindly ask your security guard for a master key. Once you access your room, bring it back to him ASAP. If you lose your key, you may issue a new one with an extra fee. And if you have to contact with a maintenance problem, please refer to the site on the slide. And this is there is information about your dormitory checkout time. For 4-week students, you need to check out your dormitory before 11 a.m. on Friday, July 22. 6-week students need to leave dormitory before 11 a.m. on Friday, August 5th. Please return your room key and bedding to the front desk when you check out. Please remember, late checkout will be not able under any circumstances. Please note the policy written on the slide is very important. And if you need any help related to the dormitory problem, please find your resident assistant of each resident hall. And now I'll directly introduce our cultural activities. The cultural activities will be held 6 times every Friday except this week. You can enjoy the amusement park activity on this Saturday, July 2. We will hold 2 activities on July 15. In the morning, we will hold a taekwondo activity for KU ISC students, and you can enjoy the K-cooking class in the afternoon. Both 2 activities will not be held at the same time, so students who are interested in both activities do not hesitate to attend both of them. Now let me guide you the procedure of registering for each activity. We will have a Google survey for each activity, so you can sign up for the sheets you want to attend. KUISC team will announce the information on Blackboard to easily sign up the Google form. The Google form links will be open from 10 a.m. every Wednesday, and you can access the sign-up form until Thursday, 7 p.m. before the week of the activity. We will limit the number of participants in each event to facilitate the process. Participants will be accepted on a first-come, first-served basis, so please register within the period at your earliest convenience. We do impose penalties on no-show to prevent indiscriminate registration. And this is our Instagram, so we will hold some Instagram activities on here, so please stay tuned for the event or on our ISC Instagram account. Before we end up our student orientation, I'll just briefly share you the information about KU Winter Campus. The KU Winter Campus program will run for 3 weeks from December 26 to January 13. You can register at KUIWC from September 1, so if you are interested in our program, feel free to attend this program. If you register from September 1 to August 31, you can also get an early bird discount. Do not miss this chance. And for more information, please visit our KUIWC website for more information. And now it's time for us to move on the academic calendar. Please welcome our program manager, Mr. Juno Jo.
Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Juno Jo, the program manager of KUISC. And I will explain about the academics of KUISC. Let us begin. A total of 60 professors, including Korean language teachers, will participate in this ISC program, and about 100 classes will be opened. Including today's orientation, the 4-week courses ends on July 21, and the 6-week courses ends on August 4. The 6-week course is 100 minutes per class, and the 4-week class is 150 minutes per class. Except for this week, all classes are held 4 days a week, from Monday to Thursday. And this week, classes are held until Friday. Except for some classes, all classes are conducted in English. 3 credits are given per course, and the evaluation is conducted in an absolute evaluation method. All classes are held at Udang Hall except for some classes, and that some classes are held at SK Future Hall in front of Udang Hall. I'm sure you've already checked the detailed timetable through the website. The course add and drop period will be until Thursday, June 30th. Visit the Student Support Center at Udang Hall, room number 111, to proceed the course add and drop. If you add courses, you need to pay the extra fee by July 6th. If you drop, you can get a refund for the fee difference. The refund process takes 2 to 3 weeks. If you cancel ISC program by the course add and drop period, 80% of the tuition fee, excluding application fee, can be refunded. Of course, the fee difference will be fully refunded if there is only a change in the number of courses without canceling the program. We cannot refund if you cancel the ISC program after 7 p.m. on June 30 for any reasons. These forms must be submitted for course add and drop. The form will be placed at the Student Support Center and uploaded our official website, isc.korea.ac.kr. It's a calendar during the ISC class. The date of exam can be adjusted according to the class, so just refer to it. The grade confirmation period is until next Thursday after the class ends. Students can raise objections to their grades and change their grades only during this period. This is the sample for the ISC transcript. For students who take only 4-week classes, e-transcripts are sent by email in the first week of August. The physical transcript will be sent to each address through a separate application by the end of August after the 6-week class ends. Physical transcript can be delivered free of charge only once. Free delivery must be applied by August, and even if there is one free delivery left after August, you will have to pay the post fee. Transcript applications will be sent by email and must be filled in with the student number, name, and address. Scholarships are provided only to international fee-paying students. Exchange students who take ISC classes for free are not eligible for all scholarships. Details of the scholarships are on the ISC website, so please refer to it. Students who have Korean account or can make Korean account can receive the April and U21 scholarships during the class period. If you want to receive it from an overseas account, it can be paid after the end of the program, and a significant commission fee will be charged. Therefore, students who can create Korean accounts are recommended to create Korean accounts and receive them during the program period. Of course, academic scholarships are paid after the end of program, so you should write down an account that you can withdraw them when you return to your home country. The scholarship announcement will be held in the first week, so please check the Blackboard community website and mailbox periodically. Now, I will explain how to use Blackboard. You can access KU Blackboard system through this email. The Blackboard system is a learning system using in Korea University. Please log in using the legacy method, this button, after accessing it. If you log in on the first screen, this screen, you cannot log in. If you return to the initial screen, even though you enter your ID and password by using the legacy method, you may have a long password or your account may be locked. In this case, you have to visit the Student Support Center and receive relevant guidance. If your Blackboard is set to Korean, not English, you can change it to English. First, click on your name on the left side of the menu. The upper right side is the language-related part, this part. You can change it to English after clicking, like this. On the course in the left menu, you can check the courses you are taking. Class announcements or assignments are often guided through Blackboards. Please check it regularly. The important notice from the ISC office is posted at the Blackboard community. The community is accessible from the left menu named Organizations. There is a lot of important information, so please check it regularly too. Blackboard can also be used on mobile devices, but their functions are limited, so it is recommended to use a PC as much as possible. From here, this is how to take online class through Zoom. Most of you here will take in-person class, and you can find out how to take class online through the guidebook posted on our website, so I will skip this part. Help about using Zoom or Blackboard can be found in the link above, and if you need additional help, please visit the Student Support Center. ISC office does not sell textbooks or course reader directly because it complies with relevant laws and copyrights. You can purchase textbook by visiting Unistore in the basement of Korea University Central Plaza, called 중앙광장. It's all from me. There are a lot of students here, and it's not a good condition to run a Q&A session, so we don't have a Q&A session today. Please understand. Instead, if you have any questions, feel free to visit the Student Support Center, Udang Hall, room number 111. Also, frequently asked questions will be answered by the Blackboard community, so please report to it. Okay, it is the end of ISC orientation part 2. Lunch break is from now, and orientation part 3 will begin at 2 p.m. today. So please come back to your seats 10 minutes before the afternoon part begins. Thank you. See you soon.